Rob, going back a couple months as the transition started to happen with Warner Brothers, and a lot of people were very boo-hoo. Oh, boo-hoo, I don't like what they're doing to Warner Brothers. Hey, listen, and I was the one guy, the lone voice in the wilderness, screaming out like an old man screaming at clouds. They're doing everything right. The Warner Brothers transition, they're doing everything right. And people ask me, John, why do you like what David Zaslav's doing over there so well? I said, well, I have to like it because everything I have said for years that I think they need to do, he's doing. So if I don't like it, there's something wrong with that. And I love it. And, of course, the stock started to drop. And we said on the show, of course, it's going to drop and it's going to continue dropping for a little while because there's all this transition. They have to clean up a lot of mess.
Yes,
that
a lot of debt.
A lot of mess and a lot of debt that the AT&T ownership left behind. And we said, of course, and it's going to continue to drop. But we said, once the house starts to get in order here, you're going to see it turn around. Well, we had somebody write in yesterday about how, hey, John, I listened to what you said about that, so I bought some Warner Brothers stock, and he had made a bunch. It's gone up. Well, now the major trades are reporting Wall Street is very big on Warner Brothers right now. This is a headline in the Hollywood Reporter talking about Warner Brothers Discovery on a roll with Wall Street after analysts give it a big upgrade. A day after two analyst peers touted the shares, Guggenheim Michael Morris sees a 31% upside to this report in a thing called Chapter 2 Management Takes Control of the Story. Now, this is what it says in the article. It says just a day after two bullish analyst reports, with one expert touting it as Warner Brothers as his new favorite media stock, Warner Brothers Discovery got another Wall Street expression of love on Wednesday as Guggenheim's Michael Morris upgraded the shares from neutral to buy. In his report, entitled Chapter 2 Management Takes Control of the Story, he highlighted a 12-month stock price target of $16.50, emphasizing that this was representing a 31% upside to the potential. After a tough 2022 for the stock, Warner Brothers Discovery Management, led by CEO David Zaslav, is expecting to focus this year on showing it is on track for cost savings from the Discovery Warner Media merger that was created by the company last year, unveiling its combined streaming service and other possible catalysts for its shares. Now, it goes on to explain why they're so positive on this. Explained Morris, we see an attractive narrative for the first half of 2023 with the impact of a recently announced domestic affiliate renewals, strong cost controls, and the upcoming launch of a restructured HBO Max product as a key catalyst. Cost discipline at the direct-to-consumer in particular should bolster confidence in the company's ability to meet consensus 2023 earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, on and on. Anyway, Wall Street is saying they've done everything right. They have positioned this thing in a healthy way and positioned it for success moving forward into the future, which is what I've been saying. I'm also the guy who said that Top Gun Maverick would not make $1.5 billion or 1.4, and it did. But in this case, we've been saying that everything they're doing is positioning themselves for long-term success. And now all the major trades and Wall Street are all looking at and say, yeah, this is, according to this report, they said this is the best media company buy you could have. Anyway, Rob, you saw the article in question. What was your takeaway from it?
Well, I mean, like you said, John, we're watching somebody who aggressively took over the company, who asked everybody in town, how do you run a company? How do I run a movie studio? Which, when do you ever hear people do that? And then he started making swift, decisive change. He swung that axe, John.
And he staffed his executive inner circle with the best.
But yeah, that's
with
what
the best people.
I mean, he did what you'd think any captain of industry would do. And he was doing it. It's interesting, John, because in Hollywood, everyone's always hedging their bets. Everybody's scared because they're afraid of failure. Well, Zaslav wasn't afraid of failure. And when you see people come in and do the things they know they should do, and they are decisive, usually they do so because they believe in themselves and they believe in what they know. And Zaslav, what he didn't know, he went out and found out from the people that do know, what should I know? And he worked to that effect. And I wish that a lot of entertainment companies would look at the way. Now, that's not to say he's still got a long way to go.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a lot of debt. There's a lot of debt.
And not only a lot of debt, but while they have overcome a bunch of hurdles, before anybody breaks out the party hats in Warner Brothers, we can all see there are still more hurdles ahead.
Yeah.
Like they still have more challenges they have to face ahead that they're going to have to navigate, but they're off to a good start.
Yes, but the morale at that studio is, from what I've heard, pretty down in the doldrums because
I heard it was months ago.
it's still.
I've heard it's not quite that way today.
It depends what department you're in because people don't know what's going on.
Right.
People and they don't know what's going on because not everybody. I don't think at the top they know what's going on. It's still an adjustment period. But for the most part, look, I think like I said, now we have fans bitching and moaning about our neck of the woods, Peter Safran and James Gunn taking over. But let's hear what they have to say first.
Well, and that's I think the Safran James Gunn thing and solidifying and stabilizing what DC is and that's one of the big reasons that I think the company's stock has turned around.
I think so too. And and whether we're going to get an announcement today, tomorrow, by the end of the month, I think it's pretty exciting.
Chris, you saw this report. I mean, look, again, like a doctor to a patient, not out of the woods yet. I mean, there's still a long way to go, and it's a never-ending battle. The battle in Hollywood is always perpetual and ongoing. But what were some of the things that stood out to you in this?
Well, I mean, the big thing here is, like you were saying, don't bust out those party hats. Don't bust out like some stock investments right now because they're still operating at a loss.
Yes.
They're still going to. It's just less of a loss. They're not projecting that they're going to see a profit until 2024, but they are on the right track. I'm no Jonathan Voitko. I'm not going to tell you what to invest in or not invest in, but I think it is important to just show they're still in that kind of growing pains era of how they're trying to shift everything over and make a more profitable business. But for the next year, we're still going to see them operating at a loss.
As is Disney. Disney Plus took a $4 billion loss.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, but that road ahead, that launch pad, if you will, might be a little bit shorter than people originally thought. Anyway, guys, it's just always like with all the doom and gloom that we've had to talk about, reports about Netflix stuff, the Warner Brothers stuff, the Disney stuff. It's nice to come out and see like, hey, you know what? Wall Street loves this stock. This one's looking good. Anyway, whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. Guys, we want to thank one of the sponsors of this video, DraftKings. Guys, the NFL playoff picture is now locked in, and your go-to place for wild card round action is DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. So to kick off the road to Super Bowl 57, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. Plus, all new and existing customers can get a no-sweat bet each day of the wild card round this weekend. Just place any NFL bet of your choice, and if it loses, you'll get a free bet back up to $10. Action so good, why bet NFL playoffs anywhere else? And if it were me, I wouldn't be betting against the Bills or the Bengals right now. So guys, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code Campea, Campea. New customers can bet $5 on the NFL and get $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with the code Campea. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.